can you reduce your injury risk as a professional athlete with the right kind of foods and supplements? A lot of professional athletes, they have reoccurring injuries, they get the same injury over and over again, or they're just very susceptible for different injuries. You know, you get every 3 months, you can set the clock for that, you get an injury. Twice a year, you get an injury. And for example, you're a soccer player, you get a muscle fiber tear, for example, you get a muscle bundle tear, you get an ACL rupture. A lot of professional athletes tend to get these injuries. And a lot of professional athletes also, there's some that are more susceptible for these kind of injuries and some that are less. And you always have somebody in the team where you know, okay, this guy is really good, but he's going to be injured soon, and then he's gonna have a setback. Maybe you are one of them. And the biggest problem with that is that you can never reach your full potential. You can never reach your full potential. So what does it mean exactly? So here you are, you're playing good, whatever kind of sport you are doing, you're playing good, you're in the starting 11, you know, playing good, and then you get the injury again. So you have a setback, you fall out of the starting 11, for example, you don't attend or you don't participate in the championship, whatever you are doing, you're not in the top 100 anymore, you're not in the top 200 anymore in tennis. Whatever you're doing, if you have these reoccurring injuries, if you have always the inflammation, for example, and a lot of pro athletes also, they don't have only the reoccurring injuries, they also, some of them have injuries that are ongoing, like they never play without pain anymore. They never play without pain. So the biggest problem here and the biggest challenge that you have right now is that you can never reach your full potential. You can never reach your full potential if you are injured every 3 months, even 2 times, even once a year. If you get one bad injury every year, you can never reach your full potential in your career. And what does it mean for you? It means that you leave money on the streets. Because, let's be honest, every professional athlete, you have a limited time to do that, to do your job, and you want to earn as much money as possible in that time frame. So if you are injured a lot and you can never reach your full potential, you won't be able to earn as much money as you want to because you're not as good as you should be. And this holds you back a lot. So what can you do about that? Because the challenge for you is probably that, you don't really know what to do about it. And you're really sad about it because it's a very depressing situation. I talk to a lot of professional athletes, and every time they tell me they're getting a lot of injuries, they don't have fun anymore doing the sport because, obviously it's not fun to play a sport or to do something when you get injured a lot. So I'm telling you, you can actually do something about that. And you know what's the biggest issue when you get reoccurring injuries, or just when you are very susceptible for injuries, when your risk to injuries is very high, is that you have a weak connective tissue. What does it mean? What even is your connective tissue? Your connective tissue is your ligaments and tendons, for example, in your knee, your muscle fiber. And let's take the example with the muscle fiber. It's a very common injury that professional athletes get a torn muscle fiber or a torn muscle bundle, for example. And the muscle fiber is your connective tissue, and it's very easy to understand. If you have a strong connective tissue, it doesn't tear apart so easily. And if it's weak, it can tear apart more easily. And you can strengthen your connective tissue with the right kind of foods and supplement. That's actually possible. And if you do that, you reduce your injury risk. I also talked to somebody lately. It's a professional soccer player, a woman, and she had an ACL rupture, for example. She started again and she got the ACL rupture again. Same knee, same problem. It's because you don't really heal your connective tissue and it's not strong enough to hold this immense tension that you have when you do different exercises, or when you train again and you have a lot of stress on your ligaments and tendons, on your connective tissue. So the solution for this specific problem is in strengthening your connective tissue. And you don't do that by doing a foam roll every day, by doing your ice bath, by doing massage every day where you don't have to do anything for it. You do it from the inside. You're doing by feeding your body the right kind of stuff that you strengthen your connective tissue. For example, I never had any kind of muscle injury in my whole career. I played 6 or 7 years professionally soccer and never had, for example, a torn muscle fiber. Never. Because my connective tissue was strong. I always took care of myself. And for example, that's what I also did with it's a German guy, he's playing in Detroit right now, a soccer player, Adrian Billhardt. He was one of my clients and I helped him to strengthen his connective tissue. He had problems with his ankle, with his hip, and he had inflammation there as well. And after only a month of working with me, we lowered the inflammation, we strengthened his connective tissue. His movement was more smooth, was more supple. He could run faster, he could run longer, he didn't have these issues anymore. And this was only after 1 month. You have to understand it, that's really critical. And I want you to imagine right now, just imagine, how would your career be if you would reduce your injury risk by 80 or 90%? What would that mean for you? You could actually reach your full potential. You could actually reach your full potential. And you could earn so much more money because you're just way better. And when other guys are injured, maybe in your team or your rivals, you are there and you can train and you will be at your peak performance. Meanwhile, you're sitting there probably listening to me, eating a pizza, being the most unprofessional athlete in the world, wondering why you have your 3rd torn muscle fiber right now. Yeah, it's bad luck. My doctor said to me I have too many fast twitch fibers. It's not bad luck, it's your weak connective tissue. And you can actually do something about that. Now imagine you don't have these issues anymore and you could play your career without these nasty injuries. And I help professional athletes drastically reduce their injury risk by strengthening their connective tissue and lowering the inflammation by using the right kind of foods and supplements. And it's definitely possible. And there's a link in the description here where you can apply for a free consultation with me, where we will talk about your specific issue and we will see if and how I can help you. And I'm asking you right now, how long do you have time? How much more time do you have? Maybe you have 5 more years in your career. Maybe you have 10 more years. If you're lucky, you have 15 more years in your career right now. How long do you want to wait? How long do you want to wait until you change something? How much more time do you want to waste until you get your next injury, until you get your next setback, until you have to fight your way back in the starting 11? How long do you want to wait to make the best out of your career? How much more money you want to leave on the streets because you have your 3rd injury in the year? As I said, link is in the description. Thank you for listening and talk to you soon, guys.